A few weeks ago, I published a video analyzing Meghan Markle, and some of you pointed out just how sad and angry Prince Harry has looked for a good part of this year. Of course, he didn't used to look like this before. In fact, he used to be pretty happy, having fun, joking around, and making the most of his work. So what happened? Was it because of his family, his friends, the British people? Or was it Meghan? I think we all know the answer to that. But let's dig in anyway. Before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and only you have the power to help me get there. Okay, back to Prince Harry. So let's get started with what Prince Harry was like before he met Meghan. For one thing, he was dedicated to his work and his many patronages. He was especially fond of Africa and always felt like his heart belonged there with the African people. He was incredibly proud of his time in the military, as well as his honorary military postings. He was very close to his brother, to Kate, as well as his cousins, and his dear old Gran. Yes, the Queen of England.
Boom.
He also had many friends who were with him through his toughest moments. And finally, he was extremely popular with the media, as well as the people of England, often considered to be the most popular royal. None of that is the case now. But moving on, let's look at some of the things Meghan Markle did leading up to her first date with Prince Harry. In my previous video, I had mentioned how Meghan Markle had asked British TV personality Lizzie Cundy to set her up with a rich, handsome British man. But it goes deeper than that. For one thing, Meghan went to Rwanda and had photos of her taken, being charitable, as well as channeling her inner Princess Diana, all the way down to the sunglasses tucked down the front of her shirt. Meghan also changed her Wikipedia page to include the title humanitarian. But the cherry on top is that Meghan wore Princess Diana's perfume to her first date with Prince Harry. And this is just the beginning of how much Meghan goes on to emulate her late mother-in-law. I know what you might say, Kate Middleton also dresses like Princess Diana. Yes, fair point, she does. I don't think it's just the dressing like her though. It's the combination of the perfume, getting photos taken with a practiced pose, and similar wardrobe. You've gotta admit, it's a little weird. And it's all by design. I think Meghan knew that for Harry, his mother was a sore spot, which I don't think anyone else would have guessed. Before meeting Meghan, it seemed to everyone that over the many years since his mother's death, Harry had come to terms and moved forward with his life. He spoke about his mother from time to time, but it was very infrequent. But when he started dating Meghan, that pretty much changed immediately. It now seemed like Harry had never recovered from her death, especially when he said,
I see a camera, every single time I hear a click, every single time I see a flash, it takes me straight back.
I think this is very clearly orchestrated by Meghan, who immediately came into Harry's life ready to play the victim of all the things that Harry loved. Soon after the announcement of their relationship, the British press were shocked when they got a talking down to from the prince that they'd always had the best relationship with. Harry was scolding the press for hounding his new girlfriend and mistreating her just like they hounded his mother. Now, let's be clear, Princess Diana was hounded. She never had a moment of peace and suffered major infringement of her privacy, including topless photos of her being captured while she was on holiday. That's not what's ever happened to Meghan Markle. Here's an example of her being supposedly hounded by the press. And look at this. Meghan looks perfectly relaxed while she walks out of a yoga studio, tries to hail down a cab, I guess, and calmly takes a phone call while striking some solid poses. This isn't being hounded. In fact, these are probably paparazzi photographers that she hired, something that she's done many, many times. Meghan likes to be photographed. She can't hide that fact. She doesn't even pretend to run from them. Instead, she constantly knows exactly where the lens is and gives it a big old smile. But to Prince Harry, she made it seem like she was being hounded, hurt, overwhelmed. And of course, he came out swinging in her defense. Meghan understood that Harry had this deep desire to protect his mother, something he never really could since he was only a child when she passed away. And here was a woman who dressed like his mother and smelled like his mother and was being victimized and hurt like his mother, giving Harry that chance to defend her and, as he put it, defend his family.
I will always protect my family, and now I have a family to protect.
Harry was ready to go against the entire world for her, including his brother, Prince William, for simply recommending that he take it slow with Meghan and not rush the relationship. How dare you tell Prince Harry to take it slow? Boom, relationship over. Same went for his friends as well. Prince Harry had a best friend named Tom Inskip for many years. Now, Tom had a reason to warn his friend about Meghan, since Meghan crashed Tom's wedding to try to convince Harry to get back together after he had already broken up with her. Yes, Harry broke up with Meghan and they got back together after she surprised him at his friend's wedding and proceeded to make the whole thing super awkward for everyone. When Tom warned Harry to take it slow with Meghan, Harry broke his friendship with Tom. How dare you tell Prince Harry to take it slow? Friendship over. For the sake of his relationship with Meghan, Harry also broke with the British people. The people of England and the royal family have an agreement that in exchange for the people paying for very lavish royal lifestyle, the royal family celebrate momentous occasions with their people. These events include royal engagements, weddings, christenings, and royal births. But Harry really disappointed his people after completely robbing the experience of welcoming Archie into the fold. He and Meghan never provided a due date, only announced that Meghan was going into labor an hour before Archie was born, and didn't show him to photographers until a few days after his birth. Harry was showing that he really didn't care about the royal traditions of his people, even though the people paid for their lavish wedding as well as the renovations of a home they barely lived in. But Harry justified all this by buying into the claim that the British people did not like Meghan due to her race and background. This was simply not true. I mean, just look at the enthusiasm that the British people had for their wedding. The people wanted him to be happy. And Meghan's race and background only seemed to excite the masses, since it represented modernization. But Harry didn't care. He was breaking with his world left and right in defense of a woman hell-bent on creating an image of the ultimate victim, who's so mistreated that no one even asks her how she is. It can seem so romantic and so noble that a man goes against his family, his world, his friends, for the sake of his love. It's that Romeo and Juliet type of love, where the world wants to keep you apart, but the two of you love each other so much that nothing can separate you. I'm sorry, but this is all a pile of crock. But not to Harry. Harry gave up his entire world and moved across the Atlantic to pursue a new life. Now, did Meghan isolate Harry by design? Yes. Meghan is a very controlling, manipulative person. And if Prince Harry is entirely dependent on her, has no one else in his circle or his support system, then he is entirely under her control, believing everything she says and working for her fulfillment. Considering how loving, protective, and absolutely adoring that Meghan has been to him, this might have seemed all worth it to Harry. But that adoration and love hasn't lasted, has it? While the two used to look at each other so sweetly, now that seems to have evolved into a hardened look of almost annoyance and sometimes anger. And that's the main risk of giving up your entire world for that one love. If it's all you've got left, then losing it is just a non-negotiable. So the answer to why Harry is so miserable is that he turned against all the things in his life that were so good. His family, his friends, his career, and the love of his people. And now he's adrift in California trying to understand who the hell he is if he isn't a prince and if he isn't Meghan Markle's husband. There are two very important lessons here. Number one, everyone can't be wrong all the time. Many people in Harry's life cautioned him about Meghan, seeing right past her cool exterior and down to her manipulative and divisive side. But Harry just assumed that they all wanted him to be unhappy. They all wanted to rob him of his love, even his brother and his best friend. But really, they were just trying to look out for him. Number two, a love should not separate you from the ones you love and care about. And if it does, it's not a healthy relationship. Someone you love should bring you closer to everyone, create more joy and enjoyment, not isolate you and strip you of everything you are. And I think this picture right here says it all about the main difference between Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle. While Kate is there for family, for togetherness, Meghan is stubbornly standing apart and only interested in looking at the cameras. Even when her little nephew Louis is looking to play with baby Archie, she is unrelenting. At some point, she and Prince Harry will go their separate ways, and I don't think we're far off from that. And while it will be painful, it might be just the best thing for Harry, because he can finally go back to the world that's been patiently waiting for him to finally come back to his senses and come back home. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and give me a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.